a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay?
Welcome to Elevating Lives. I'm Charles Evdos, Executive Director of Rise Life Services. Today we have two great guests, Rick Friedman and Michael Kitakis. Hi, welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you, thank you. Welcome to you.
Well, thank you. Michael, tell us a little bit about the Hampton event that you're doing.
Well, we're partnering up with Rick and coming out to the Hamptons, and I think probably Rick, you could probably tell us most about your amazing show.
Well, the Hamptons Fine Art Fair, July 14 to 17, we actually open up with, what's July 14th? It is Bastille Day, so it's a national holiday in France. We went to France and they said, oh, we want to work with you guys. It's going to be a big, they're helping us to make a big party, so it's going to be a big opening night. And it's, you know, I started Art Hamptons about 17 years ago, so wow. I like to say that I help make art collecting the new sport of the Hamptons. And it sort of exploded, and I took it around the country. I sold it, and then was sitting around, and friends said, Rick, let's do it again. So we started a couple years ago, and it's going to be at the Southampton Fairgrounds, and it exploded. It's 85 galleries from around the world.
Wow.
43 cities, 8 countries, showing really the finest in 20th, 21st century, post-war, and contemporary art. Only galleries exhibiting, you know, it's probably 500 artists on display, and we're showing paintings, works on paper, photography, prints, and sculptures. We have a big sculpture park. I'm building a 40,000 square foot modular building on 17 acres at the Southampton Fairgrounds in County Road 39 next to Mercedes-Benz of Southampton. And we expect 7,000 or 8,000 art lovers to come and explore and run around and have a great time. So when you had called me and you said, hey, I have this idea, I have this program, Artability. Yeah. I said, Artability is really cool. It's great, man. Look what you're doing for autistic kids. And I said, how could we work together? So we brainstormed a little bit. We found a great time spot on Saturday morning, 11 to 12 o'clock early, you know, coffee and Danish, and put a panel discussion to talk about this. And I'm so excited, first, for what you're doing. I really want to compliment you for doing that. I think it's really giving autistic kids a chance to really express themselves through art. I'm a big believer in that. So I was excited when we came to that. And I'm also going to be able to donate exhibit space where these students, kids can actually now, they're not all kids, there's some grown-ups obviously, to show their works in the same VIP pavilion along the top galleries in the world. Yeah. I mean, we're selling in the same space Picasso. I mean, we're selling Renoir, we're selling top names. And this is all in, like, you know, within a couple of feet. It's unbelievable. So the average works are probably $20,000 to $300,000 in the building. And so your artist can really be right there. I mean, to be able to display in the same space is so exciting, you know, for me to see. For that. Now, I understand eventually you're going to auction it. They're not for sale here, but you're going to auction off later in the year, right?
Correct. I mean, I think it's just going to be so amazing for these young artists to really be considered part of this community. I mean, that's really everything. And they've never had this opportunity, you know, in years past to be able to exhibit in that same scenario of professional artists. And really, it is all about inclusion and diversity. And Charles was so fortunate to give us an opportunity to partner up, and we've created a whole community art center called Rise in Spirit Community Art Center in Huntington that houses not only Rise Life Services but Spirit of Huntington Art Center, and we've been able to create this community of artists that are making this amazing art that.
How many artists did you have in the program?
Oh my gosh! So we started literally with 3 kids at an old gas station in Huntington. The proverbial start there, and we now have over 250 students a week coming through the program.
Really?
And growing.
And growing. And thank goodness Charles has been able to.
Programs like this and our marketing at the fair, maybe we can get a lot more. There's a lot of parents out here that don't know about your programs at all.
Right.
They just don't.
And there hasn't been a lot like that.
No,
That's
hasn't
what's
been a
so
lot like
amazing.
that.
I mean, there's always been services, and over the last 10 or 15 years, they've been growing for students with special needs and that are on the DI world. But it's never had an opportunity to create something that's a community arts center. And I think that's what's so powerful. I mean, because we're able to offer education, recreation, and vocation all in one building. It's 24,000 square feet in Huntington.
And where's the building located specifically?
Huntington.
Where in Huntington?
Huntington Station. So it's 2 Melville Road. It's right off Jericho Turnpike. And Charles is not-for-profit, our not-for-profit. We're able to just recently purchase the building, which has been amazing.
Wow.
And now we have really the opportunity to grow this into even more. So, having a place where they can create and creative expression and come together in one spot has just been a blessing. And taking it to the next level, which was, each week we always do a different artist, whether it's Van Gogh or it's Matisse, we learn about it. And then we teach that to these 250 students that are coming from 12 different organizations, including Rise Life Services, and we're able to share them about that artist or that particular artist and what they may or may overcome with their art, because it's obviously so powerful.
Man, I should attend the class. Man. I can learn some stuff.
Expression.
Yeah, that's
and
great.
what I love about Rise in Spirit, if somebody who's developmentally disabled or special needs, it improves their quality of life.
Oh, yeah.
They get to go, whether it's art, music, dance, whatever the category we provide. Instead of sitting in front of a TV, they now can really do something with their lives. And the program works. It's a no-brainer. And Michael and I are working hard together. But Michael, tell us a little bit of art ability.
How that all came about. I wish I could say it was all planned, Charles, but it wasn't. I mean, again, they were learning these artists, right? So it's Van Gogh this week. It's just, and then, we would do the projects, and at the end of 10 weeks, we put on a little small show. It started in obviously at Spirit of Huntington in our gallery there. We have a nice small gallery, and the students started getting excited seeing their artwork up. And then another group would come, we'd have another one for 10 weeks, and another one every 10 weeks. We're having these shows. Then at the end of the year, we're like, we should take all of the art from all of this year, from all these organizations, and make one big one. So we were able to get a grant from Suffolk County Parks and Rec, and we created Artability, which was, at the time, Long Island's largest.
It's a great name, by the way.
Yeah, and it's like Horseability a little bit, right? Long Island's largest special needs art show, which it's already outgrown Long Island, but at the time, that's how it all started. So last year was our biggest year of doing this. We've been doing this for the last 2 years, and it had 275 different artists with 275 pieces. And I always say 275 stories, because I can tell you just about every story from one of those pieces because of the creative expression and emotion that went into this amazing art. And it got so much press and so much hype that a gallery in the city, Agora Gallery, down in the Chelsea Art District, said, hey, why don't you bring the best of that show into the city? Let's put them in a real art environment. And honest to God, gallery in the city, next to, again, like you're saying, next to the Monets and the Picassos of the world. So we brought in, we had 50 pieces. It was juried, not by us, because I couldn't pick the 50 out of the 275, but they picked 50. We had an amazing grant from TD Bank, who gave us some of the financing. We were able to frame it all. They supported us in this. We brought it into the city. Unfortunately, COVID hit crazy peak levels. It was minus 10 degrees that week, and we didn't get a tremendous turnout, but we did get some good turnout. We got some press, and the Daily News came in and did a full-page article about it.
Good for you.
So all of a sudden, there was more hype. Dr. Harvey Manis came on board and said, hey, I'm on the board of the Nassau County Museum of Art. Could you bring it there? And we're like, of course. So now, all of a sudden, Artability turned into a tour of those amazing pieces, and then I met you. And and you have just taken it to now a whole nother level, because now the art went from our gallery into the city, going to the Nassau County Museum of Art, and now coming into the Hamptons Fine Art Fair. I mean, it's just a dream that this is happening.
It's a great story, no question. Didn't one of the artists appear on the front page of Dance Papers?
Yes,
right?
On Dance Paper.
Did, really?
Yeah.
You did?
One of the artists came
Harvey
on
Manis appeared on the cover of Dance
Paper. Yes, he's also an accomplished artist. He's doing amazing work. Manis Peace Prize Foundation is the name of his website. And we we've been able to partner up with him. He then came on our board because he was so excited by what's going on. So like the momentum is just hitting peak levels, and I cannot wait to get out to your show, and can't wait to now bring these 12 organizations that we represent out to your show.
I want to tell you a story. When you first called me and you told
Yeah.
me what you're doing, it reminded me of the story of Jackson Pollock. Now, the building we're building is called the Pollock Pavilion.
Yes,
ironically.
yes.
But Pollock, the story goes, that when in the mid 1940s, he was seeing a psychiatrist, Dr. Henderson, and he couldn't express himself. He couldn't talk. So the doctor had him draw pictures. So he would draw pictures, and then they would discuss the picture, and that's how he communicated for years with this psychiatrist. It actually became after Pollock died, the doctor wanted to sell the pictures, and Pollock's wife, Lee Krasner, tried to stop him, and she said that the foundation now owned the pictures. It was a lawsuit. They went to court.
Wow.
And who won? The winner of that lawsuit was the doctor, because he had client doctor
Privileges, yes,
privileges, and he owned the work. So he owned the work, and then he wound up selling the Jackson Pollock piece for a lot of money, of which I bought many of them. They're in my collection,
Oh, how many?
and I'm
Oh,
putting
cool.
them, and I'm lending them to the Pollock Pavilion, into the Whale Cornell Medical Center is one of our major sponsors,
Sure.
and they're in the booth, and I'm putting those Pollock drawings in their booth.
Wow, wow.
And there's quite popular these days and in demand. But the point is that, yes, it goes back to the 40s,
Yeah.
where Pollock was actually expressing himself, and Pollock had a lot of emotional problems,
Sure.
and he really overcame that by drawing. So
That's
That's
the
great. I
story.
mean, like today, autism is one of the big scenarios, and for the individual to express themselves, art is a creative way to do that, because many of these bring out their inner feelings. And how many times does that happen?
It's like it
great.
transforms
And a great
lives.
artist.
It does. Well, that's the other whole side of this, and that's what I'm hoping your show actually does, is it puts it in the light of, this isn't just a great piece of art because a special needs student did it. Like, oh, that's pretty, but it's this. It is an amazing piece of art just because it's an amazing piece of art.
Sure,
And I think that's what we're all talking about when we're trying to bring this to a new level of inclusion and diversity in the arts. In fact, the panel that we put together, and you helped out, and I just want to highlight, because this is an amazing panel that we put together, which is going to be at Saturday, July 16th, 11 a.m., 12 p.m. under the VIP lounge, and we're inviting everybody to come down to listen to this amazing discussion. And it's a conversation on creative expression and the special needs community, obviously. Besides Charles and myself, and obviously you, we have Dr. Manis, we talked about earlier. He's an amazing art collector and philanthropist.
Yes.
Eric Price, who's our founder at the Spirit of Huntington, he's a professional artist that's still selling amazing art, still teaches, still works in the world of. Victoria Schneps, who is a legend, we were just talking about her. She is, I mean, not only did she start life's work, but she started the media empire that's just blowing up, and her story is so moving, and when she talks about her past with Geraldo Rivera and all of that.
Well, out here she's known as the owner of Dance Papers.
Yes, there it is, Dance Papers. In that whole world. And then Nicole Wolf. She is the vice president of Family Enterprises, Family Residence Essential Enterprises, otherwise known as FREE. And this panel, I think, is just so powerful. I can't get a better art/special needs world coming together to discuss this than what you were able to put together. And just again, really quickly, I just want to highlight the groups that will be represented.
Who's gonna come?
These are great. ACLD, AHRC, Nassau, AIM Network, Blue Umbrella Experience, Cerebral Palsy Association of Nassau, East End Disabilities Associates, FREE, HALO, IGHL, Life's Work, Palamine, Rise Life Services, obviously, the South Huntington School District, we even have some pieces from them, SYJCC Butler Center, and the Mid-Island YJCC. So this group of organizations that are all now coming together and supporting and sponsoring this as well. FREE just came on as a sponsor yesterday. Obviously, TD Bank is one of our main sponsors, but all these organizations are coming and stepping up because they believe in it. They believe not just their students have gotten this amazing, opportunity to create, but they're actually getting their due worth, that's out there.
So will the selected artworks that you're putting in, are they from the students from those organizations?
From those organizations,
They are,
from their
okay.
classes, we made to have representation from each one of the groups.
Wow.
Not
Best
necessarily,
of, huh?
yeah, not necessarily all 275, but we did narrow it down to 50.
I need to get a bigger building.
And we're going to get a bigger now. Now it's time for a bigger building. But now that we bought the building, we can expand it. So we're excited about that opportunity. But I just think that having this forum, if you want to call it that, which tell me again now, this is how many acres is this facility?
17 acres.
17
With the
acres.
parking lot. We're going to build about a 40,000 square foot modular museum.
Wow.
And it's like an L shape with the VIP pavilion and the Pollock pavilion. It's funny, I just got a call coming over here from a prominent gallery in London that would probably exhibit across from you.
Wow. Wow.
And bringing like the top artists in London.
Wow.
The young Brits of London, the top names. David Hockney, he's going to bring a David
Sure.
Hockney.
Wow.
I mean, this is, Julian Opie is telling me he's bringing millions of dollars of paintings. And I said, oh my God. So, for the artists that are going to be in your booth display, this is really outrageous.
They're losing their mind about
they're
coming
now
in.
professionals. They're now professionals.
Can we take this internationally? I mean, this sounds like very exciting to me.
Where's our next one, right?
Yeah, right.
Basel, right? Are we going down to Miami next or what?
Yeah. Well, I really think it's going to encourage them to continue, do more, and continue to paint and paint better, and write it. I mean, it's very inspirational. I mean, God, to be in, because these are all high-level professionals. These are all career artists, emerging artists, and legend, blue chip legendary artists. So to be on the same, right in the same next door to them is pretty cool. So I have to say that I want to see the smiles on their faces.
Oh, it's going to be an amazing.
Because now they're pros.
I want to be an artist. You are an artist. I just heard one of the students say yesterday, I want to be an artist. I'm like, no, you are one already,
So their auction will be, and their values are, what's the range of?
Anything as low as $500 for some of the prints up to $5,000. Obviously, as they start to sell more of their art and become more in that community we expect the values to go up as well. But what we have been able to do is not only, again, our place, our gallery, going into the Manna Center at Nassau County Museum
That's
of Art.
great. When are you going to go there?
That's going to be in August. And
it's a great building.
Yeah, yours is going to be in July. And then we're going to go back to Agora because they had such a huge success there. Even though they didn't get a ton of sales, but we did move some pieces.
You said
it was just the worst week.
Pandemic and a cold.
Right. So now they said, "Can you guys come back and let's do another run at this?" And we're so excited. And not only that, we're going to dedicate the whole gallery because we only had a piece of it. So they're going to do the whole gallery for us, so we can even bring more than 50 pieces. And then we're going to do an auction. So the pieces that have been on tour now for this whole year will go up for auction. And ironically, we're building 2023 right now because we're doing all these classes ongoing, and now we have the model. So we've already been putting away our pieces that are going to go into the tour for next year. So really, I have like kind of this whole program that will continue to evolve.
Sure,
and grow.
it's only going to explode. So tell me about Lauren.
Oh yeah, Lauren's going to be our moderator as well.
Right.
Lauren is the executive director at Long Island Arts Alliance. She's an amazing. She's an amazing young lady who's been able to take her history of art sales. She worked in Miami. She worked at Basel. She was working at all of these galleries in the city. She went into the nonprofit world, went to school to get that whole education on nonprofit management, and is now the executive director at Long Island Arts Alliance. And she helped orchestrate a lot of the bones of this program. She was able to really put some of the things together. She was able to help negotiate some of the stuff that happened. So
is she the teacher in the classroom?
She's not the teacher. We have some amazing teachers. My associate director Diane Young is the main. Is the main educator. Ingrid is another one of our. She's our director of education. So we have about 6 teachers that are involved. 3 classes are going on every single day. It's just amazing. And now that Rise is there, and now this thing is really just blowing up because Charles is able to bring in the new blood, because his organization is bringing in all of the students that want to be part of this whole program, and that's just exploding.
So we talked about Rise and you're at Riverhead, and I said, because I asked you, I said, how do you get out to the East End, further East End?
Sure.
And he said, well, you said, well, Rise goes out. Are you reaching out to the East End? Are you reaching out to East Hampton and Montauk? I mean, there's a lot of families and kids
Sure.
that could benefit from.
Well, I mean, we opened up a food pantry in Hampton Bays, and
Oh.
we're
didn't
looking
know that.
we're looking to expand further into Southampton,
Really?
to open up a day program. So yes, a lot of
Really?
there's a lot of individuals who need our services, and we're expanding out to the East End and hopefully the North Fork, and heading west too. We're growing fast, and
So
the
tell me,
East does a lot.
tell me about your food pantry in Hampton Bay. What is
We,
it?
the need for food pantries, well, unfortunately, the coronavirus created all kinds of issues for families.
Yes.
The need for food went up by 300%. We were approached by Long Island Harvest and Long Island Cares, and we said, sure, we'll open up a food pantry in Hampton Bays, and we did. And right now, we feed about 2,000 families a month. And thank God we have all those companies supporting us, ShopRite and others.
Well, you know.
It's a great thing, and it's just amazing that we're making a difference. And
Plus the garden, right? You got the sensory garden where you actually
That's the
growing
other
the
big-
food now.
we have property in Northville, which is called the Century Garden. We're moving one of our adult programs into that site, but it also has a greenhouse. We're going to be creating a farm. There's a stream, the Century Garden. It's on about 3 acres of land. It's beautiful. It's one of the best kept secrets
Really?
on Long Island. And once we get it going, the building is being constructed now, and our hope is in the next month or two we'll have that open. We're going to open it up to the community, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's great. Food pantry is a great idea. I have a family member that is 93 years old and can't leave. He's disabled, can't leave the house, and feeding him is a problem for the family. He can't
Well,
get his own
that's
food.
the other piece.
So
We
maybe
purchased
we'll-
a truck that delivers food to families that can't come to the site, especially the elderly. And there's tremendous need for that. And unfortunately, gas prices are going through the roof, and it makes it a lot harder for us. So we count on we get no funding from the state.
Really?
So we count on donations, and that's critical, no question.
Well, do you have a chance to get funding for next year? I mean, does it take a while to get
I mean,
the
we're
funding?
fortunate. We get, we do fundraising events,
Yeah.
auctions and things like that to help
Right.
raise the dollars.
Yeah.
Because every $100 that's donated, we can feed a family of 4. And
For how long?
for a month. Because of the help we get from Long Island Harvest, Long Island Cares, we're able to provide those services. So
Well, out here in the East End, you can get a couple drinks for that.
Yeah.
maybe 2 or 3, right?
Yeah, maybe one these days.
But even the
Great
local
advertising.
farmers help us out. They donate a lot of the food. So it's a community effort, and that's what's so great about it. That's why I have so much fun doing it, because getting people together, I call it friend raising. And that's
Very
the
good.
key to our
like that.
success, and
Right.
that's what we try to do.
Wow.
No, you've done amazing work, and the way that this has grown, not just in your organization out in Riverhead, but the way you're expanding, the way you came to Huntington. Now he's got a western footprint there. You're looking at another building you were just talking
Yeah,
about.
we're looking
you
to
know,
expand because the
So-
need's there.
and it's growing, and the need is there. And even this little model, the community art center, Charles and I have talked about it. That there's an opportunity to kind of somewhat, I hate to use the word franchise it, but definitely duplicate and replicate the successes
I see.
of music, art, and
Right.
dance in
Right.
one place at a community art center, for the organizations or individuals coming to it.
You said you were looking to do something in Southampton?
Yes.
What do you want to do?
Well, the Greek Orthodox Church, that's Father Alex, I don't know if you know.
I know. Yeah.
We've
Everybody
discussed
knows.
about opening up a day program in the church itself.
Really?
Uh,
Good for you.
And
Good for
we-
you. That's
our
a
hope
nice
is to,
facility. It's a beautiful
someday
facility.
open that up.
Yeah, it's a
And we're
great-
also looking at other areas, Hicksville, Islip, to open up this type of program, which is,
We definitely see this as a model, and it's a model of service and help, because the creative, at least in the creativity world and creative expression, it does transform lives. Having the community even transform lives more, and that really is all about what it is. It is community building, as much as the fine art is the fine art, but it is about the opportunity to be together and share, and come
So
together.
with the fine arts, besides the visual art of painting, you also have music and dance?
We have music and dance. We have a music program called Music Comes Alive, and that's starting to get some traction. The dance studio we have four dance suites there that are just amazing.
Really? Wow.
And
All
we
right,
partnered
good
up
for
with
you.
North Shore Dance. They're one of our tenants in the building, and they've been able to turn into a nonprofit and help out and be a part of this whole community that we're building. And you know, not only that, we're actually expanding into now digital art, and we have a vocation program. And we started again with 2 or 3 students. We're up to almost 30-something students. We've hired about
Really?
5 or 6 of them to work in the digital art. So there's a career, and it's called Art Works, which is an opportunity not only to do the fine art, but to do the digital art and turn it into
You mean like
actual
build like websites? you mean
websites,
about
social
that?
media, the brochures that we have here, you know, the websites that we're working on.
That's terrific.
And we went back to all those great organizations that we're teaching at, and we said, hey, who's working on your digital art? Who's doing your marketing and advertising? And they're like, we don't even know. I'm like, we have a special needs advertising agency. Would you be interested in that? And they're like, where do we sign up?
And we're also working with Eric Toulon, the sheriff of Suffolk County, to provide training for individuals who are incarcerated. That, again, the sad part is somebody comes out of jail, they can't find a job.
Yeah.
Our hope is to train them and get them back into the work community.
Oh, wow.
Everybody deserves a second chance, as far as I'm
No,
concerned.
of course. I mean,
No,
of
no
course.
doubt. And definitely a career, you know. If there's an opportunity to hire, we're
So
in it.
you've done such great things here. I mean, tell me, where do you fit in on a national scene? Are there other programs like this around the country, or is this unique to? I mean, you know, did you model this after some other?
We've
As
so
far as I
we
know,
keep
there's
saying
nothing
we're like
it
the only one
in
out
America.
there.
We're the only ones
No.
out there. Yes.
I don't know anybody
Under
who's
one roof. There might be art classes or music classes, but nothing under one roof that has art, music, dance, sculpturing, the
Yeah.
day program,
That's
food
incredible.
pantries.
That's
We're going to probably open up a
incredible.
food pantry in Huntington also.
we haven't found this type of a model where it's all coming together, and you know, and it has to be in a community.
Right.
And that's the other side of it. You know, for funding and for Medicaid, there's certain things that you have to kind of follow the rules of. But we're just excited we have this opportunity.
So
you know?
tell me again the date of the event.
So the conversation for the creative expression panel discussion is July 16 from 11-12, but the show is from
The show is from the 14 to 17. Let me say where it is: 605 County Road 39, next to Mercedes-Benz of Southampton, across from the Golf Range there, and then next to the Southampton Golf Club. Very accessible. Pull right in. 450 parking spots, and come right in and join the party.
That's great. It sounds like
You
it's
know,
going to be a
very
great
accessible.
Sounds like it's
couple
gonna be a
days,
great
and I
show.
thank you both for being on the show.
Thank you.
And I look forward to going there.
Yeah, we're gonna have a blast.
Thank you so
Join
much.
us. Join
Thank
us.
you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for
Thank you,
inviting
everyone.
us. Thank you.